Welcome to week 15 of the NFL season and my predictions. Last week I went a much more respectable 9-5, which was better than the week before where I went 9-7. Still not great. I am currently at a record of 128-80. We have been improved in that regard, guys. Unfortunately, let me check the standings here. I do believe we are all but done with this. My buddy Travis is in first. I can't find the actual rankings right now. Hold on, fellas. My brain is not working. But my buddy Travis is in first. I am tied for third, I believe. So, unfortunately, I think it may be all but over. I think Travis has won this year. We've done this a few years before, and I think it was tied at 3-3, me and Travis. But I can't remember. So this is the first time we've had a big group of people. But in any case, let's go ahead and get into the predictions for this week. Maybe I can make a comeback. We'll see. But for Game of the Week last week, I was right. It was probably Bills-Bengals. And this week, I went with Bills and Patriots. I think this is going to be a banger of a game. And from what I saw when I got back out of my shower from the game that I simulated, they think it's going to be a banger too. So let's get to it. Thursday night, 10 night, we got a very important game, at least for my team. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week, also we are done with bye weeks, by the way, this week. So last week we had the Falcons lose 37-9 to the Seahawks, who are still frauds. And then we had the Buccaneers lose to the Saints 24-20. So we need the Buccaneers to continue losing, and the Panthers can get to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. But, the Falcons, they are just not looking good. I think they're going to start Big Kirk going. Again, I think Penix is out for the season, but I'm not positive. Mike Evans is practicing, so we could be seeing a return to the Buccaneers being good again. But, yeah. In that case, I do think the Buccaneers will win no matter what. It is a division game. I said it once, I'll say it again. So it could go either way, obviously. But I don't think it will. I do think the Buccaneers will get a relatively sizable victory. 28-6. And then we move on to Sunday. We got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Chicago Bears. The Browns had a respectable game versus the Titans, 31-29 loss, however. And strange one, a low-key game of the week, let's be honest. And the Bears lost another banger to the Packers, 28-21. The Browns, they're starting Shedeur. I think he's playing for the rest of the season. This is good for him. I think he's looking relatively decent. And I do think there is a big upside for the Browns as long as they don't bring Deshaun Watson back. And the Bears, they still look good despite this loss. It does knock them into 7th. However, I don't think that's that huge of a problem. They could easily bounce back, and I do see them bouncing back and staying in the playoffs in my full-ish predictions. So I don't think the Bears are in trouble. I think they're fine. They could easily get a number 6 seed or a number 5 seed, or even the number 2 seed. They could bounce back and get ahead of the Packers again. And I do think that they win tonight. I think this is their easiest win. Well, it could be their easiest win left on their schedule. They do have a very tough schedule for the rest of the season. And it really depends on how the defense does for the Browns. If Myles Garrett sacks Caleb Williams, kills him, then it'll be tough. But I do think the Bears will get a very close win. 21-19. Next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Ravens coming off a embarrassing loss. No, not really that embarrassing. Coming off a big loss to the Steelers, 27-22, and that's a rough one for that AFC North. Worst division in football. And the Bengals coming off a heartbreaking defeat to the Bills, 39-34. Joe Burrow throwing 2 costly interceptions in the end of that game. I don't think the Bengals are in trouble. I think that they're going to continue. That's not a horrible game for them to lose. That is probably the hardest game left on their schedule. I can see them easily running the table, winning the rest of their games. Steelers losing an important game to drop them out of the number 1 seed in the AFC North. And I do think the Bengals will pick it up and make the playoffs. That is my bold prediction. That's my hot take. So I do see them winning here. I see them sweeping the Ravens. Starting now, they're going to run that table. They're going to win. So the Bengals win 38-31. No, the Ravens aren't going to score that many points. The Bengals win 38-24. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a huge game. Both teams, the Chiefs are trying to get back into the playoff picture. The Chargers are trying to somehow continue winning and possibly take the number 1 spot from the Broncos in the West. And like I said, this is big for the Chiefs. The Chargers did pick up an overtime victory against the Eagles, 22-19, and the Chiefs lost 20-10. I do think that drops them in at a 5-7 record. Let me check. Sorry, I didn't have it up. I didn't think I was going to talk about standings that much. That puts them at a 6-7 record. Don't fucking say the meme. And I do think that this will be a close game. I don't think the Chiefs are quite out at this point. So I think this will be close. However, I see the Chargers hanging on to a slim lead to take down the Chiefs and possibly just take them out of the playoffs. However, this is a home game. The Chiefs have a winning record at home. The Chargers have a mediocre record away. I just saw that stat, I guess. Now that I got the standings up, it's random. I do see the Chargers picking up a very close win to knock them pretty much, honestly, knock the Chiefs practically out of the playoffs. So let's go Chargers win 28-25. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots. This one, game of the week. The Patriots coming off a bye, and the Bills, like I said, coming off a big win versus the Bengals, 39-34, to come back to form. You know, the Bills have been a very up and down team this season. It's unfortunate to see. They need to win this to possibly take the division and not let the Patriots take it. I say they've had an up and down season, but yeah, it's been pretty up and down. Some of their games that they've lost is shameful. To the Dolphins and the Falcons. Bold. Anyway, sorry. I think that the Bills will take this win from the Patriots. Patriots, they are easily one of the best teams in the league right now. But I do think the Bills are still a top team, despite this 4 losses. So in the end, I do see the Bills picking up a win to split with the Patriots and possibly begin to take over the AFC East again. I don't really think that they could take it back at this point. I think it's too late, too little too late. But I see the Bills winning a close one. And 35-30. I'm gonna cut that. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. This one's a tough one. The Commanders lost 31-0 to the Vikings. Honestly, shameful. They keep trying to kill Jaden Daniels. They're turning him into Robert Griffin. Might as well call him Jaden Griffin III. I stole that joke. I think I stole it from Barry. Sorry. And the Giants had a bye. Yes, I don't see them on here. So, the Giants coming back from probably some shit. I don't really think... This is a shameful game. This looks really bad. It looks ugly. Giants have a 2-11 record, and the Commanders have like a 3-10 record or something. Yeah, 3-10 versus 2-11. So this is a shameful game. And with Jaden being hurt again, I think I'll just give it to the Giants to pick up a big win here. Knock away another top seed, a top pick. Giants win 21-13. Ugly game. Gross. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Raiders coming off a nearly picking up a win, 24-17, kicking a field goal to only lose by 7 in the final seconds of the game. That's hilarious. And the Eagles losing 22-19. Also, I'm going to switch my Kansas City choice. I think the Chiefs will win. Sorry, I just remembered all of the sacks that happened. Chris Jones is going to kill Justin Herbert. I think the Chiefs win 28-25. We'll switch that one out. I'm an idiot. God, I couldn't regret changing that. The Eagles, they lost 22-19 in overtime to the Chargers. The Eagles are going to win this handily. The Raiders are terrible. They're not going to win anything. They'll probably start Kenny Pickett again. Maybe Kenny Pickett can get revenge on his Super Bowl winning team. No. Eagles win 28-3. We're bringing it back. I'm an idiot. Next, we got the New York Jets taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jets got destroyed by the Dolphins 34-10. They're still terrible. And the Jaguars picked up a huge game, 36-19 versus the Colts. However, they had to hurt Daniel Jones. I feel bad for Jones, but at the same time, I thought he was a fluke season for him, to be honest. No offense. And I honestly did see a Colts collapse. Not in this way, obviously. But I hope he heals well, and I hope he comes back for another season. Obviously, don't wish injuries on anybody, guys. But the Jaguars are looking good. They're the top of the AFC South, and they only have to really worry about the Texans. The Colts are bringing in Phillip Rivers. I'll talk about that with the Colts game. Sorry. The Jaguars win this one handily, unless they're stupid. 34-10. No, that was the Dolphins score. 28-28 to nothing. That was the Washington score? No, that was 31-0. 28-0. I don't think the Jets score anything. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Houston Texans. Oh, sorry. The Cardinals got dominated 45-17 versus the Rams, which the Rams beat the Cardinals beat the Panthers beat the Rams. It's rock, paper, scissors right there. Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. And the Texans defeated the Chiefs 20-10. The Cardinals, they just got to start worrying about tanking. I don't foresee the Cardinals doing much of anything left in the season. They're still starting Jacoby Brissett, which is still better than Kyler Murray. I don't really have anything else to say. The Texans, best defense in the league. They're looking great now. I'm hoping they can bring it back. I do see them getting second, at least in the AFC South. Texans easily win this game, 31-13. Next, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. The Packers picked up a big win versus the Bears, 28-21. I think I have to check. They're in first. No, they're in second. Duh. Rams are in first. But they are in second. They're in first. They are in second in the NFC now. So, Packers are looking good. We might. I foresee possibly the Super Bowl. Panthers or Packers, Broncos. I doubt it. But yeah, I do see this is going to be either, as Grassi and Perna said, this is either going to be a terrible game or a fantastic game. I am leaning in the middle, kinda. I think it's going to be like a 17-15 score. And who wins that score, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Packers winning here. It's bold. Both teams are top tier right now. They're both up in that upper echelon, you know. You got the Packers, Rams, Broncos, and the Patriots in that upper echelon. And no, I'm not putting the Seahawks in that upper echelon. Fuck the Seahawks. They're not. They are a fluke. Anyway. Even though they have the best point differential in the NFL. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, they do. Seahawks are a fluke. So, yeah, Packers win a very close one, 17-15. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions taking on the LA Rams. The Lions coming off a big 44-30 win against the Cowboys after I think they dropped 2 in a row. And the Cowboys won 2 in a row. I'd have to double check. I don't remember if the Lions lost 2 games. No, they beat the Giants. But they did come off 2 big losses, and then that Giants win. And then the loss of the Vikings. The Lions have been relatively up and down this season. And the Rams have just been elite, unless they're against the Panthers. So I do think, in the end, this is going to be a close one, but the Rams pick... Oh, sorry, the Rams did beat the 45-17 to the Cardinals. Sorry, I'm having a stroke. The Rams pick up a very close game here. I think it'll be... I want to pick the Lions. I think they're going to upset the Rams. But I got to go with my gut. I got to go with the smart choice. The Rams win 28-27. No, make it 35-33. Next up, we got the Panthers. Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. The Panthers coming off their bye week, and the Saints coming off a big win versus the Buccaneers, 24-20. This is the game that the Panthers need to win. They were able to beat the Rams, but they lost to the Saints earlier in the season. They need to win this game. If they don't, I think we could kiss their playoff hopes goodbye, because they have a rough one going forward. So I got a fingers crossed that the Panthers win this one, and I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna choose the Panthers for this game. 24-10. It's gonna be the Super Bowl 50 reversed, but with the Saints now instead of the Broncos. God, I'm sorry, I have a headache. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Titans picked up their second win of the season, beating the Browns 31-29 and ruining their chance and starting to blow their chance at a number 1 overall pick. They're still in the running though. I do think they're in the lead. Yeah, I think they're number 1 right now. Sorry. And the 49ers did something. I think they had a bye this week. Yeah, they had a bye. So the 49ers, injury. I've said it every week, I'm pretty sure. They're always injured. But they're still winning games. They're still top 6 in the NFC right now. And they're winning games with injuries, with all this. So I don't think that they're in trouble at all. I don't even know if they have injuries right now. I'm probably just spouting a bunch of dumb shit. The 49ers win this one. It's pretty simple. If they don't, then they might be bad. They're not. So the 49ers win this one handily, 31-12. Next, we got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I had faith in the Colts to win this one, prove that the Seahawks are frauds. But with Daniel Jones going down, they're possibly bringing in Phillip Rivers, 44-year-old, and hasn't played a game in 5 years, Phillip Rivers. against the Seahawks defense. I got to go with the Seahawks to win this one. The Colts did come off a 19-36 loss. Seahawks coming off a 37-9 win. Somewhat similar scores, honestly. Versus the Falcons and Jaguars, respectively. Sorry, I'm just all over the place this fucking video. The Seahawks are going to win this one. They're going to prove nothing because they're fluke. They're a fluke this season. I don't care about the point differential. They're frauds, and they're gonna miss the playoffs because they're gonna lose every game after this one. Bold prediction. But the Seahawks win this one, 28-14. And the last game of Sunday night, we got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Ugly Sunday night football game. The Vikings picked up a 31-0 victory versus the Commanders, and the Cowboys 44-30 loss to the Lions. The Vikings, I don't think they're really good. They beat the lowly Commanders, and even at full strength, the Commanders aren't that good. I'm just kidding. And the Cowboys, they were on a bit of a tear there for a couple weeks before they met up with the Lions on my birthday. I forgot about that. So I do think the Cowboys are going to be fine. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but they will win another few games possibly to keep their hopes alive, just to choke it away. So I think the Cowboys win this one. And 34-14. Because the Vikings are going to fall back to earth again. They do it every time. And finally, Monday night, we got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Dolphins been on a bit of a tear recently. They have won a few. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm having a stroke. They won their last 4 games. And before that, they won 5 of their last 6 games, which is insane. They only lost to the Ravens. So I think the Dolphins are fine. They did just beat the Jets 34-10, and the Steelers beat the Ravens 27-22. Sorry, my brain. I don't know if the Dolphins actually win this one. I think they will give them a run for their money, but in the end, I do think Pittsburgh will prevail to try and keep that 9-8 record alive. So I will go with Pittsburgh to win this one. 22. No, we'll go with 14-13. We'll go with a really bad score. I think Tua will fall back down. But that's about it. We got the our scores. We got our games. We got the Buccaneers, Bears, Bengals. I've switched it up. We got the Chiefs winning, the Bills, Giants, Eagles, Jaguars, Texans, Packers, Rams, Panthers, 49ers, Seahawks, Cowboys, and the Steelers winning this week. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. I'm sorry, I am just all over the place today. I stopped doing scripts, so it's kind of just spitting. It's going to be a longer video, it looks like. I'm going to try and trim it down a little bit. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week, or before that if I make another video. Peace.